What's up, everyone? It's Willette with Urbex and Coasters, and today I am here at Legendia in Poland. And this park, it honestly feels feels a little bit like I'm urban exploring, and you're gonna see that with just how empty this park is, that it feels like I'm in an abandoned park. But anyway, they do have, this is the park that has Lech Coaster, Vekoma. Please live up to the hype. Don't be a fly and give me something that underperforms massively. But looking at that profiling, I mean, that looks like Expedition GeForce and Conda, so that'll be cool. They also have a Soke Looper here that operated at American Adventure in the UK and also operated at park that had the Ultimate, blanking on it. But yeah, it operated at those parks before it was here, and now it's here at Legendia. They also have one of these plane things that has been a mythical thing for me, like in the Chippewa Lake Park documentary that I grew up watching. So it's more than just Lech Coaster here. Let's get into it. Lech Coaster. Awesome ride. Best Vekoma I've ridden. Has some gray outs, some good moments of airtime. That hill is profiled geniusly, that drop. I wouldn't say it's as intense as Conda's drop, but it's definitely in that same vein as Conda and Expedition GeForce. It's definitely in that same vein where you get the airtime and laterals on the drop. It's got some gray out inducing inversions. Awesome ride. I will say though, it is a little bit obnoxious that they make you walk around every time, in spite of the fact that there's no line. The queues, however, are not as obnoxious as Energylandia's, so that is very much a positive, that they are not non-bypassable queues. Diableska Pelta, or also known as Twin Looper and Super Looper previously, having operated at Lightwater Valley, that park name came to me, and American Adventure in the UK. And take a look at those loops. Those look fairly similar to Schwarzkopf loops. This ride's all right. It's not as intense as a Schwarzkopf double loop that it looks like would be, but it's a decent ride. The restraint is basically a buzz bar with over-the-shoulder restraints attached to it, so you don't get any airtime, so it's not like you get a big moment of wow sort of thing, but you don't have a restraint that actively touches you. There are some good moments of laterals on it that might be good to ride defensively for, including that drop. That's a moment of laterals, and also there's a helix back there that has some good laterals. Those loops have good positives. I would say the front has the best positives on the loops, but there is a backwards seat too, so that's cool to check out. And yeah, I would say it's not just Lech Coaster, because this is definitely one that you don't want to miss when you're here. Is this park abandoned or something? Look at that. And this ride is not operating. But it feels like I'm urbexing. And that, my friends, is why you should prioritize coming to this park, because, you know, looking at these walkways and knowing that as much as we as enthusiasts might hate those damn school groups that come to the parks where the kids are badly behaved and they're line jumping and they're doing everything they can to ruin our days, creating a bunch of lines, that's generally what pays for these parks to exist, is groups like that, and there being lines. So, I mean, the fact that Legendia doesn't seem to ever have lines, and it's got a bunch of empty paths, very reminiscent of Skyline or Lakemont. Do the math. Obvious pre-show that's not running. I like that. Like, just let me get to the damn ride. Don't make me sit through a pre-show. Certain parks that's very much directed at, from what I've heard about those parks. Take a look at that control panel. You've got the Vekoma logo, you've got the block sections. That's pretty cool. Like, look at all these buttons here, and then that screen has all the block sections on it. Magical Mountains? But where's X2? I don't see it anywhere around here. So these planes, as I said earlier, as I think I said earlier, same model as the rocket ship ride from Chippewa Lake Park. If you've seen the old footage of that place, which is one of the things that got me into coasters in the first place. So really cool to get to ride one. It does have a long setup to getting up to speed, but once it gets up to speed, you do have a good force of wind in your face though. So I would say of non-coasters, this is definitely a must ride here at Legendia. And I'm so glad to say that I've ridden one, and I'm gonna guess that this one was built around the same time as the one in that old Chippewa Lake Park footage, because I've seen on some pictures of the park, pictures of this ride in the 50s. So pretty cool to get to be able to say I rode one of these. Here's some footage of Le Coaster. There's those airplanes I was talking about, and there's the Soke Looper right there. And over there you can see something that we are interested in as urban explorers. Part of the reason this park feels abandoned, you've got a lot of abandoned rides here, or abandoned areas that should have rides, and that Pinfari is one of them. Also, you can look at that lake that Le Coaster uses. The entire park goes around this lake. And there's Twin Looper in there. There goes Le. You gray out at the bottom of that inversion, and then that airtime hill gives some great heavy positives to negatives sort of thing. Then we've got plots like that in this park. I freaking love it. Basilisk, the dark ride here. It's a multi-mover, and it's very screen and cardboard based. Like, it feels like they spent more on the ride system than they did on the sets for the ride. And like, when you're looking at a dark ride, you want them to be having good sets for it. But I mean, it was here, there was no line for it, so glad I did it. But ultimately, it's a ride that should be a lot better than it is. Wonder Garden. This is a barrel of fun, barrel of laughs. You can see a little bit of what it is back there. It's like an endless slide. So if you've seen great old amusement parks, it sort of reminds me of the Barrel of Fun at Whalum Park, featured in that documentary. I know that Chippewa Lake Park also had one. This is very much a classic park feel that this place has. Like, just because they only have 2 coasters that don't give you the sense that this is a classic park. It's absolutely a classic park that has classic funhouse gags, classic rides they don't make anymore, like those airplanes. So this place is definitely more than just Le Coaster. It's Le Coaster, Twin Looper, and a bunch of rides they don't make anymore. They're using that crane as a ride. It goes swinging. I want to get on that. Wait, are they actually doing that as a bungee jump? And it's not just a, I want to get on it for for the purposes of that, let's see. I think it might actually be. So, overall thoughts on Legendia. It's a really nice park. However, I do wish they allowed re-rides without making you walk around on empty stations. But Lech Coaster, awesome. I'd say it's, I haven't ridden an Intamin Megalight, but I'd say that's probably the most comparable coaster. And I can see it going either way for which one I'd prefer, because it's got the great airtime, it's got the drop, and it's got about the size. So I'd say it's about probably comparable to an Intamin Megalight. And I mean, I get the hype for new gen Vekoma now, I can say that. Twin Looper, I'm not as good as a Schwarzkopf, but still decent. But like, it was my first Soke, so that's cool to add a new manufacturer to my credit count. Scary Toys Factory, don't see it reopening anytime soon, but you know, it was an awesome Explorer. I'm gonna post that as a separate video with me poking around that ride, because we were able to get a lot of awesome footage of it, and it's not something anyone's gonna want to miss, because like, I mean, that's its own video in itself, that I did some urbex at Scary Toys Factory here at Legendia, the abandoned roller coaster. So it was like, never thought I would do urbex and ride roller coasters at the same location in the same day. So, you know, that was pretty cool. I am listing Scary Toys Factory on my credit count, but putting a note of it being an Explorer credit, using it recategorized. Like, I think Log Ride intends those to be for like Marvel Cave at Silver Dollar City, but I use it if I explore an abandoned ride. So I'm categorizing Scary Toys Factory that way and including it on my credit list the same way I do with Desperado. So awesome for that. And they've got some cool older flats like that Funhouse barrel and those airplanes. So overall, great park. Definitely come here. I am worried about this place going defunct within the next couple years. So come here, come here, come here. Include this in your trips.